I don't have a sarcastic or witty intro this time, so let's pray I think of one next time. Nope, wrong form of pray. Never mind. What is up, Netflix fans? Welcome back to my channel. Prey is the brand new German movie on the platform, and today we're going to talk about it spoiler-free. Is it good? Well, so a hiking trip into the wild turns into a desperate bid for survival for 5 friends on the run from a mysterious shooter. This movie stars the likes of numerous talents, David Cross probably being the most notable. You'll recognize him from something like Into the White and Warhorse. And for the most part, I think the acting is solid, even though some of the character decisions... Okay, let's get right into it, and this review is going to be brief, because frankly, I don't have a lot to say about this movie. It isn't that it's the most tragically bad thing I've ever seen, but in terms of an actual plot and moving these guys from one place to the other and giving us not only consequences, but consequences that lead to something engaging, emotional, something that keeps you on edge. I will admit, there is a bit of intensity at the beginning. When they first encounter this random shooter, all you see and hear are shots firing from the abyss, nowhere. They can't figure it out, we can't figure it out, and they're being shot at. So what do? Well, they hide, because what else are you going to do? And then they run into the forest, and I do like the fact that that plays into, it's an integral piece of the story as a whole, the setting, right? And the trees and whatnot, they are used as set pieces all throughout the movie as they're on the run, and every single time they believe they are safe, well, we get yet another encounter with this shooter. But we're trying to figure out, as an audience, what are the motivations here? What's the reasoning behind that? But what the movie wants to focus on, and this is where I started to get a bit agitated, frustrated with the narrative, is the camaraderie or lack thereof between this group, between these guys. They just don't get along. I'm thinking to myself as I'm watching this movie, why is everybody out there? I mean, it looks and feels like they're trying to have fun. Nobody's having fun. Everybody's getting on to each other. There's a dispute between 2 of them, and that turns into a dispute between 5 of them. And even in the midst of the madness, when they first start getting shot at, which, again, was intense, and I was enjoying that moment at the beginning, I'm thinking to myself, okay, where's this going to go? They're still arguing, and they're still saying, hey, well, you go pick up my phone over there, even though we're still getting shot at, clearly, and just the dumb decision-making by some of the characters in this movie, and then certain characters telling other characters to do things and say things while you're getting shot at from a distance. And this isn't a spoiler for the plot itself, but I will tell you something that happens, a general scope. It's a pun. Did you hear that? Of what happens. Eventually, you do realize what is, or who is, trying to be vague here, attacking them. But the way in which one of our characters figures that out was the most on the nose, and just like, why? How did that happen for you to see that in the first place? Why is it here in the open for you to come across? And that entire moment, if you've seen the movie, you know exactly what I'm talking about here. It's just like, I did not like the writing in this movie. I just didn't like it. Whether it be our group arguing all the time, the villainous presence of our person or thing, again, not trying to dive deep, that is firing at them. And there is a sense of emotion there, absolutely. And part of me likes what they tried to do with that, but it was the reveal, and it was just the way that the movie just kind of fizzled out. You know, there's so much intensity at the beginning, and you keep getting that intensity. And I won't lie, not everyone makes it out of this film, right? But the movie just kind of fizzles, and it just becomes more and more repetitive. It's like they're getting fired at, they run. They're getting fired at, they run. They try to split up at one point. I'm thinking, could you not go about this in a better way? It was just a frustrating movie. A frustrating movie with certain moments that, again, were keeping me on the edge of my seat and intense. And when something would happen, I would say, ooh, it's that person, or something's about to go here. So I was engaged from that perspective, but from a story perspective, nope. So before I give you guys my score, what are you watching on streaming this weekend? And if you like this review, drop your thumbs up down below. From the decision-making to the frustrating plot conveniences, Prey never delivers on its premise. And again, I love the simplicity of what they were trying to do at the beginning, but it just fizzles out. My score is a 40% for this film. Again, not the worst thing I've seen on Netflix. There's something about the plot that intrigues me still, even after seeing the movie, but the execution just didn't quite work for me. But it is on Netflix for you guys to check it out. If you agree or disagree, why? Let me know in the comments down below. Appreciate you big time for joining. We are on the push to 100K. We can do it. I believe. I'll see you soon.